Hey guys, so I'm so sorry. I got caught up looking at kitty videos. So we're here to do a ClairTarot reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, also for your cross watchers. Some shit is about to go down, guys. Some shit's about to go down. Let's get started. I don't even want to wait. Let's get started. I had to go watch kitty videos for a few minutes because it's just too much energy. So everyone's reading today, and I think yesterday too, has been really intense. A lot of purging, a lot of relationship changes, a lot of really intense shadow work stuff coming up. Pisces being the last in the zodiac. Usually we get whipped around, you know, it's like when you're riding in a roller coaster, the very front and the very last cart gets whipped around the most. Pisces, y'all. Let's get the cards going. Let's just get these cards going. We need to get clarity, and we need to get some sort of game plan. I don't know what it is. We need some sort of game plan. All right. I'm nervous. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I'm nervous doing this reading. I think because it's just a lot of energy. It is. It's a lot of energy. It's going to continue to climb too. The energies are just going to get more and more potent up until at least the 8th of August, when the Lionsgate portal is at its full opening, fully dilated. So let's go ahead. All right. Get more cards. So this is not so bad, okay? This is not so bad. Pisces, you're needing to allow yourself to receiving downloads from soul, receiving light codes through this Lionsgate portal activation. You have to allow yourself to receive this truth. We are still kind of struggling through allowing ourselves to be who we are, allowing that truth to be seen, not shrinking ourselves the way we usually do. That's going to be a process, of course. You're not going to hear something on some random video and then suddenly change your life and everything that comes along with it. This is part of who you are right now, and that is going to have to be changed gradually, okay? So now you might feel as though no one really understands what you're going through. You might feel as though you're surrounded by darkness, and the people who you count on to be like your support, to be the people who you would go to when you're feeling really down, really low, you might feel like they don't understand, and they don't understand. And it's not because they don't care or don't want to understand. It's because it's your journey for you to understand. And they're just there to kind of support you and be someone to lean on right now, not necessarily for them to solve your problems. And I think that's what's going on, is that some of us are struggling so much with these emotions that we can't quite put into words, that it's a lot easier for us to kind of hope that someone else tries and solves it for us. That if we go to someone that we trust, someone that usually has some sage words of advice, they can just tell us something and it'll magically fix it. And that's just not how it is. That's not how it is right now. Right now, there's a lot of dark energies swirling around. And when I say dark, I don't necessarily mean evil either. Just a lot of dark energies swirling around, because the Lionsgate portal, with that opening, it's causing a lot of agitation. So all the things, the emotions, the memories, past life things that have settled in your auric field, it's being agitated and causing it to rise back up to be addressed. And so that's why I say, you know, the people you're used to helping you deal with things and cope, they don't understand. If you can't even understand the things that you've lived through, how could you possibly expect someone else to understand? You know, they might be able to relate on some level, but to fully understand in the way you're needing right now, that's very rare. Some of us might be able to find that, but do we need to find that, or do we really need to stop avoiding the things we're needing to learn? So I think this is really more about avoidance and no longer avoiding the very lessons you're here to learn. I struggle through this as well. Okay. Father of Pentacles, this tells me like you have everything situated. It's just you don't really believe in yourself. This is another Pisces quirk. We don't believe in ourselves as much as we should. We have the ability to believe in other people to a level that really empowers the person. It suspends, we believe in them so much, it suspends their own disbelief in themselves. But we can't do that for ourselves. We're not doing that for ourselves. I don't know why. But we have everything that it takes to deal with all of the circumstance of our life for the first half of August or whenever this guidance reaches you. Okay. So next, we have to release the dark wound. Let love live. Card number 25. Fishies, you're beginning to rot from the inside out. These wounds that you keep hidden deep within you, that you think all of, your dreaminess and your very alluring Pisces energy just, kind of hides it. And everyone's just like, ooh, look at that. Look at that Pisces over there. And in reality, we got some parts that are rotting within us. It's time for us to address those. Again, goes back to avoidance. If you don't begin addressing these things that are within you, that are of you, these are your parts. Soul is going to grab your ass by your wig and yank you through the bushes. I think Pisces, our collective energy has been patient long enough, and we are needed. We are absolutely needed at this point by humanity at large. Our presence needs to be felt because we have this ability to love others beyond what humans are capable of comprehending. Humanity needs us to step forward. They need to be able to witness us loving in a way that only Pisces loves. And some people might call it enabling. Some people might call it like smothering, whatever it is. It could be those things when it's not balanced, but it could also be an expression of divine love, omnilove, the kind of love that creation has for all of the things that are created. So basically, we're needing to dig out these wounds. We're needing to address it. Stop trying to cover it up. The fastest way to heal a wound is to expose it. Expose it to air it out. Does that mean you go on a live and air out all your dirty laundry? No. I mean, if you feel that's going to help you, you can, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for the people that you trust, you can share things with them. Okay. The ones that you can actually trust, not the ones you're trying to make a project of, that you're like, oh, I see the goodness in them. And so I'm going to share things with them. Not those people. The people that you actually know you can trust. Okay. You know their energy. You can trust them. Share it with them. We also have the Empress card. This is where you're headed. This energy is where you're headed. The top part of how do I explain this? When you think of an Empress, you think of someone who is kind of just quiet, is just seen. Her presence is so regal and powerful that she just has to sit there, and everyone kind of anticipates what she's going to do and acts accordingly. That's kind of the energy. That's kind of the energy that you're going to be entering into. Okay. This is a very, very powerful role that Pisces is stepping into. And this is not to say that Pisces is superior to any other sign. This is to say that as an Empress, she is the highest level of service to her people. She answers to all of her people. She serves as a template of grace and power, divine feminine power, that yin energy. And this is what we're needing to do. We're needing to step into that yin energy. The yin energy is a darker form of energy. And the energy that's wafting around with this Lionsgate portal is dark energy. It's not necessarily evil energy. It's just dark. It's the counterpart of light energy. And you need both in order to gain clarity and gravity of light. Without darkness, light has no gravity. You become light blind. And that's why it's so important that Pisces steps into this role and allows some of that, shadow work to come forward. All of the signs basically are having shadow work be a prominent topic that needs to be addressed within the individual. Pisces is no different. Absolutely, you are no different. You have to begin addressing the shadow aspects of self so you can stand as a template for those who are witnessing your rise, so they can see how to rise in grace, in love, in compassion. That's what the world needs more of. We don't need to discuss more issues. We know what the issues are, okay? I hate to point this out. We all know what the world's issues are. We all know about hunger, racism, separation, division, suffering. We all know about all of that. We need to stop talking about the problems and start finding solutions and implementing them. And it begins internally. Okay, it begins internally. So you're going to pull in that Empress energy. But first, you have to clear out the wounds, because I tell you, an Empress is not going to sit where rotting fish are left. Okay? She's not. She's not going to sit there. She's not going to enter that space. So if you want that energy to enter in, you have to clear out those old wounds, things that have become gangrene and rotting. Cut that out. Take it out. Clean it out. Okay? Card number 5, follow your own rhythm. No one else is going to know how to do this but you. I won't be able to tell you what to do. No one's going to be able to tell you what to do. You're not going to find instructions in a book. You're not going to be able to Google this. You're not going to be able to, find one specific spiritual method that's going to do this for everyone. You have to follow your own rhythm. You can read things, yes. You can Google things if you want. You can watch videos. You can go to workshops. All of this is just to expose you to the key terms and concepts that you need to research for yourself and see how it sits with your truth. As your world begins to flip upside down, you're going to need this information. So allow yourself to hear everything that everyone is saying. Just allow it to kind of mingle in your ears, see how you feel about it before you pull it in as your truth. Okay, you're the only guru you need in this life, the only one. So as you grow, you're going to begin to be a target. I'm very sorry that I'm not sorry. People don't like it when you exit that system of control. For whatever reason, when you find the courage within yourself to exit this system of control, division, separation, all of that ugliness, the ones who participate in it, who participate in this matrix, they get real mad. I don't know why. Even if you don't involve anyone else and it's just you're liberating yourself, they get real mad. And it seems like it comes from a conditioning where there was a study, I believe, that was done. Monkeys were put in an enclosure and there was like a ladder or something put in the center. And in that enclosure at the very center, the roof had a hole so they could escape. They just had to climb up the ladder. So some of the monkeys saw this, started climbing up the ladder. Well, every time the monkey climbed up the ladder, everyone else got shot with water. So after a while, what ended up happening, anytime one of the monkeys tried to escape, all of the other monkeys would attack that monkey. And that's what's going on. So be ready. Be ready. Be ready for people to begin challenging you and trying to really subdue, whatever you want to say, your efforts to grow yourself. Whether you're trying to just grow yourself and you're not involving anyone else, the people who are not yet ready to accept that they are living in illusion, they will single you out. They will target you. They will try and rally other people against you. That's okay, because all that energy, they're focusing at you. Regardless of whatever the fuck their intention is, energy is energy. Pull it in and use it as your fuel. You have the power to do that, Pisces. You are calibrated to tap into every single other zodiac sign before you. That means all of them. That means it doesn't matter what sign is trying to derail you. You have the power and the authority to pull in that energy and use it for your own rise. And they can't do shit. They can't do shit. You know what I'm saying? They can't do shit. So don't get disheartened about, people trying to come at you, trying to tell you you're wrong, trying to tell you you're living wrong, all this and all that. That's good. Thank you for sharing your opinion. Opinions are just like assholes. Every single one of us has them. Okay? Thank you. But you're going to flourish. You're absolutely going to flourish. You're entering this stage of your development where you're not just a seedling anymore. You've grown enough that you're beginning to produce blossoms. Yes, they're still buds. They're still tightly closed, but the potentiality of the bloom is there. Your potentiality is right in front of you already. You just have to tap into it. But in order to tap into it first, you have to get rid of what's rotting, whether it be relationships, friendships, career choices, living circumstance, whatever it is, it needs to be addressed. It needs to be observed and then cleared out. Okay, if it needs to be cleared out, then it needs to be cleared out. And there's nothing you can really say or do. We don't make projects out of people. Remember that always. We don't make projects out of people. You can see the goodness in people as much as you want, but they are who they are in that moment. And you don't have a right to change them and make them into something that they're not ready to be. Okay? They are who they are in that moment. You can enjoy their potentiality all you want, silently from afar. And you could just be on your merry way until they decide to go ahead and tap into that potentiality. Some people choose to never tap into it. And neither of us get a say in that. Not me, not you. No one gets a say but them. Where's my other cards? Here. We're pulling out the animals, you guys. We're pulling out the animals. It's been an intense day when I pull out animal cards. So let's see. We're going to see what kind of animal energy, what essence we're going to be harnessing for this period of growth. This period of growth is legit going to turn everything upside down. I already feel the shifting. I've been feeling shifting for several days, almost a week, actually. If you guys have been watching the lives that I've been doing, I've been regularly talking about how my eyeballs keep rocking in their sockets. I don't have any kind of muscular or neurological issue. This is energetic. Like, it's energetic. I feel it. It's like the tremors that occur right before a massive earthquake. It's pretty intense. Pretty intense. Let's see. What animals? Oh, okay. Obviously. Okay. So for the first card, we have been very timid. Okay, for a period of time now, we've been very timid about our energy, about what people see and know. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. As a Pisces, we are very, very adept at showing only what we want other people to see. Okay. Don't let a Pisces fool you. This is not me talking shit. This is me being very, very real. As a Pisces, I will only allow you to see what I decide you can see. If I want to show you the sweet side, that's what you're going to know me as. Very sweet. If you rub me wrong and I want to show you a harsh, rough and raw side, that's how you're going to know me. I control what you see. As long as you're looking in my direction, I will control what you see. And that's how I protect myself. That's how I protect my heart. And many of us have been embodying that deer energy. Very timid, very shy, not wanting to allow people to see the greatness that's contained behind the imagery that we are projecting out. And it's not that we're fake, it's that we are very sensitive, very, very sensitive. We can feel what you're thinking about us without you ever saying a single word. Unfortunately, we can feel it. And it kills us when you don't think wonderful things of us. And so we hide. We learn this from childhood. We hide all the most beautiful parts because as a child, we're taught those parts are unacceptable by society, by family, by religion, by all these other things that want to keep you contained in a box that was never meant to contain the type of greatness that you are. Okay? So we need to be done with the deer energy. We need to recognize we are fish. We are at home in bodies of energetic water. We can flow with that energy and find ourselves in places no one else can, because we don't have to come up for air. We're not at risk of drowning, no matter how intense the pressure is, because the deeper you go in depth, the greater the amount of pressure that's placed on the individual. And we can go real deep with no fear of drowning, no fear of pressure. We can handle that. So do you still have to hide behind the image of a deer? I don't think so. I think it's time the world sees what can be done even under pressure, that we can continue to swim in grace and love and still show compassion and be firm, push back when it needs to be pushed back. Because let's face it, sometimes one of the most compassionate things you can do is to push back. Unfortunately, that's sometimes the most compassionate thing. Now, fish are not always slow swimmers, okay? People think of Pisces and they think of like, oh, goldfish, you know, the ones with the big eyes. And they're all pudgy and beautiful, graceful fins, and they move real mother effing slow. No, we can also be cheetah. Okay, we can also move with a quickness. We can decide something as a solution for a circumstance, implement it, and solve it real quick, just like that, if we choose. If we choose. But because we're so busy avoiding our own growth, our own lessons that are really needing to be addressed at this point, to be honest, we end up hiding that. We end up slowing things down because, well, what if I'm wrong? Well, what if you're right? What if you're right? What if your intuition is actually being used to give you the guidance that's necessary to help other people? And this is one of the things that Pisces totally struggles with often is, what if I'm wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't understand it right. Maybe, maybe I'm not being guided by soul. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But you do know. As a Pisces, you do know. You absolutely know. And if you continue to pretend like you don't know, try and convince yourself that you don't, all you're really doing is wasting your time, because as the event follows through, then what ends up happening, you see everything playing out the way you had seen it before it happened. And then you're like, oh my God, I totally knew that was going to happen. Well, how did that serve anyone? It didn't. So go ahead and begin trusting yourself. Okay. That's also going to be a process for you, that the act of trusting yourself in your guidance. That's a very difficult task, but you're capable of handling it. So let's get you guys more cards. Here it is. Here it is. Lissy, you okay? I don't know what I was saying. Oh. Andrew Garcia, yes, I am a Pisces. I am definitely a Pisces. So let's get you guys more cards. Yeah, you have to trust yourself. You absolutely have to trust yourself. And you have to know when it's time to move on. Really, you knew it by the eyes. Okay. Not sure what that means, but okay. Someone asked me if I was a Scorpio because I have a Scorpio face. I don't know what the fuck that means. Hope Scorpios are good looking. I hope that's what that means. I don't know. I was like, is that a compliment or a... I'm just going to say thank you. Okay. Oh, well, speaking of. Okay. So we have card number 52, Void of Course, Moon, missing. Let's get this. So this card, the moon is a friend for the lonesome to talk to. All is not as it seems. This void of course moon card can be daunting. It may not be a good or appropriate time to answer your question. As it is now, the results may not be what you want. So this card says to sit still and stay as you are. Take no action at the current time. Wait for the storm to pass over. It's time to be patient and allow matters to settle before beginning anew. Allow this matter to resolve on its own without your help, work, or interference. This has to do with making people our personal projects, okay? Don't involve yourself. There are a lot of people going through some really serious shit right now with the influx of the light coding from the Lionsgate. Everyone's world is being shook up. Everyone is experiencing some level of drama, chaos, frustration, mood swings, all kind of just crazy ass shit. Fuck you, Mercury. Sorry. This Mercury got pulled into it. Oh my God, I just had to get that off my chest. Fuck you, Mercury. I love you, Mercury. I don't know. I'm sorry. But don't focus on yourself, okay? Right now, you have to focus on yourself. If your friends, the people that you love, want to come to you and vent, that's fine, but don't pull it in as your problem. Don't pull it in as your pain. Don't take ownership over their lessons and their progress. That does not help them. That's not a loving thing to do, okay? You have to really hear that. Taking someone else's potentiality is not a loving thing to do. When you figure out their lesson for them, you are robbing them of the potentiality of that growth. That's not love. That's enabling. That is crippling. It is not love. Okay? So, do not. Okay. This has to do with the Eight of Cups. It's about silence, failed judgment, wasted effort, the wrong choice, missed opportunity. Now would be a good time to take a nap. Absolutely. The first half of August would be an awesome time for you to just kind of slow things down within your mind, because Pisces has a tendency to have very racing thoughts. Okay. You're not the only one. Most of us suffer through that. And it's because you're going through a transformation. Card number 20, Scorpio, I transform. Sometimes that transformation involves being stung. Not all the time, but when you're meddling with other people's stuff, when you're trying to cure other people of their perceived ailments, notice how I say perceived ailments, there is a greater potentiality of being stung, okay? There is definitely a greater potentiality. Andrew Garcia, are you like preparing to purchase me? What are these comments? Is it just a compliment, or are you are you preparing to bid on me? What is this about? You think I'm 20, 21 years old. So what, impressionable, easily controlled? I'm motherfucking 40, fool. I will fight you. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna fight anyone. But I am 40. You ain't controlling shit. Okay, card number 6, Saturn, truth. The truth is going to be rising up. It's really going to be rising up. And this truth is yours, okay? This is not someone else's truth that you're going to need to process. This is the truth of who you are. All that shit you have been avoiding for so long is going to be rising up and put right in your face. Soul is taking all of those beautiful boxes you organized so neatly on your shelf of life, the things you want to avoid. The soul is taking every box and dumping it out in front of you. You're going to have a heaping pile of things to process. And this is because space is needing to be cleared so that you can take in more light code and rise. This is an accelerated ascension process. For the next few weeks, you're absolutely going to be through a very accelerated ascension process. And it's going to be chaotic. It's going to ask a lot of you. It's going to push you way beyond your comfort zone. And I know as a Pisces, it's very difficult, to function outside of our comfort zone. We have a tendency to want to stay well within our comfort zone and just, you know, stay hidden, be in the background, and just help people out. Nope. Nope. You're being pushed to the front. Let's get some kitty cards. Let's see. Let's see. It's going to be very important. Oh, Saturn. Saturn is the Lord of Karma. So a lot of past life stuff is also going to be coming up. A lot of connections, soul connections, they're going to be intensifying. And these people, if they're not already in your life, oh my God, that scared the shit out of me. If these people are not already in your life, they're going to be coming back. Oh my God, who the fuck is gonna don't be knocking on my door? Okay, let's get you guys some more cards because someone's coming back. This has to do with this has to do with karma. Shit. Well, at least it's not shit. You guys will see once I show it. So 6 of clubs is about comfort in the otherworldly. This is a need for you to become very, very comfortable with the fact that you are a very magical being. You are so ridiculously magical. This is part of the draw. Why people just get so intoxicated by your energy, become obsessed with you. Because you're magical as fuck. You're like a living unicorn. Fucking slap a horn on your head. There you go. Boom. There's your answer. Why are people drawn to you? Because you're a unicorn is what you are. Embrace your magic. Embrace your magic. So we have Queen of Hearts, which is about solidity, roots, and foundation. You know who you are, okay? Be very, very secure in knowing who you are, in allowing yourself to express yourself authentically. Regardless of what people are saying, regardless of the attempts to troll on you, you know who you are. Allow yourself to saunter in the room with your grace and your presence and allow people to really get intoxicated by your magic. They can keep up this front that you don't affect them down to their core. But let's face it, Pisces has that energy. We can touch you to the core of your heart with a single finger and make you fall in love with us. Not to manipulate you, but to help you see what it's like to truly feel that depth of love. And that's a gift. To be able to do that, that's a gift. And regardless of what people are saying, the kind of distractions, I mean, you guys are seeing the comments. No, I'm staying in my grace. I'm going to saunter in this room. Let my energy waft around and just be here. Be fully present with no shame. No need to hide, no fear, no none of that. Just being here like a motherfucking unicorn goddess. And you know, there are going to be jokers that try and enter your space, trying to fart everywhere. Like, just, no, your flatulence needs to go somewhere else. You know, just let that air pass you by. No one has the power to control your emotions and mood without your permission. Okay? No one has the power to trigger you without your compliance. If you do not comply, they cannot trigger you. That is wasted effort. Take that energy, use it for your rise. That's what you guys just saw. Okay? All of this effort to type it out. Every movement, every letter being typed, trying to talk shit in the comments. And then I rise. Don't let that shit bother you guys. So 2 of spades, rich conversation, friendship. It's time for you to begin really allowing the beauty of your blossoming to be witnessed by the people who are closest to you. Okay? Pisces, you do still have a tendency, even though you know you can trust individuals, you still have a lot of that magical stuff that you store inside you and you don't let other people see it. And it's, again, it comes from this fear of rejection, fear of abandonment. You don't know if they're going to judge you for being who you are because you don't fit in. You're not the norm. You're not basic. You are a quantum anomaly in a linear world. And that's beautiful. Sometimes that's the very thing that people need to witness in order to give themselves permission to free themselves from this matrix of illusion. That's why we exist. That's why we're quirky. That's why we can't really fit into any group, yet every group wants to have us part of it. Well, because we don't just belong to ourselves. We're here as a gift to everyone else. As we learn these lessons, even if the world is flipping upside down and you're like, what the fuck's happening with my life? People witnessing that, when you learn to transmute it, when you pause long enough to recognize, I need to transmute this shit, and they witness that, you've just gifted them with some massive, massive gifts of recognition, discernment, empowerment, transmutation. Like, boom. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And yes, Pisces are like researchers. So Scorpio can research for like personal things and find out the dirt on everything. Pisces will just research because we're fucking information hoarders for everything. It don't even matter what it is. We just hoarding information. And it's not necessarily to harm other people. It's just because, like, I want to know what's up. Well, because you need that information at some point in your journey. You're going to need that information. So go ahead and keep reading. Read books. Read people. When people interact with you, I mean, granted, you shouldn't be scanning people without their permission. But when people interact with you, when they're standing in front of you, look at their face. What are they really saying behind the words? What's being left unsaid? When you speak to them, look at their throat. Do they swallow when they're listening to you? When you watch them swallow, you look at their throat. And if you're speaking to them and you're looking them in the eyes and you see them swallow, they're taking the words you're saying. They're allowing it into their truth to be digested, to be assimilated into their reality. So begin reading the world around you, more than just books, but the actual world around you. Okay? Let's get you a couple more cards. Well, yes. Oh, okay. Shit. So, if you so what happened before, I was like, it'd be so funny if there was a girl with a stick, because I was like, if you don't start listening to your higher self and complying with the will of soul is going to beat you with a stick. And then I was like, it'd be funny if this deck had a girl with a stick. You have to comply with the will of your soul, not anyone else. You're not submitting to anyone else. Okay. This is submission to your soul. This is submission to your internal process. So it says, keeping it simple. Your mind may convince you that manifesting your destiny is more difficult or complex than it needs to be. Yet, the guidance of the Divine Mother is to keep things simple. Do what you can do. Let go of everything else. Do what you can do. Let go of everything else. You don't have to carry the weight of other people's lessons. The weight of other people's lessons is the very thing that encourages them, that helps them to grow, to build that muscle mass. So don't carry the weight of other people's problems. Carry your own weight. Stop robbing other people of their potential learning. Okay. Now, going back to the title of this video, you're about to get flipped the fuck out. Your soul. Pisces, why are we're so hard-headed at times. But it could be fun, right? It could be fun. So we just go with it. Walls come tumbling down to defend ourselves against pain. We can create walls of protection around us, sometimes without even realizing it. Those walls make it hard for love, life, and joy to enter our world. Maybe we need those walls once upon a time. Maybe we needed those walls once upon a time. But now it's time for those walls to come tumbling down because divine love wants to enter your world. It wants to enter your world. Allow it. Pisces, you are the sign that struggles so hard with letting people love you, with letting people love you in the way that you love others. Let them love you. Let them love you. Let them love you in a way that you deserve, a way that you haven't recognized is a way that you deserve. Oftentimes, we settle for so much less than what we actually do deserve that we never have allowed ourselves to experience that kind of love. So, if you look here, uniquely you, the more we are willing to become authentic rather than conventional, the more we will need to eschew conditioning in favor of aliveness. Be willing to run the risk of being authentic so that you can live from your heart and experience real joy. You have to experience life fully. You have to. That's one of the greatest gifts you will ever receive, a life fully lived. I found that most of us, we're not afraid of dying per se. We're afraid of the unknown of what happens after we die. Yes. But what we're most afraid of is actually living because we've convinced ourselves that we have to stay within the confines of whatever it is set, whatever we're told we're supposed to be, other people's perceptions of who we're meant to be, who they want us to be, not who we actually are. And you can't fully live until you shed all those layers of lies that have been placed on you your entire life. And sometimes these lies are not put there in a malicious way. Sometimes we have to recognize that this is simply people seeing us, and because we function as such a beautiful mirror for what they have within them, they think that it's us and they expect us to be that for them. And you don't have to be anymore. You don't have to be. What you need is to be authentic. Be who you truly are so they can free themselves to recognize that reflection they saw coming from you is actually something within them. And as you free yourself, they then will free themselves to begin exploring the truth of who they are, which is something very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So let's get you guys a final card. This is going to be a message from your soul, okay? So yes, you're going to experience a crazy ass next couple of weeks, okay? This is going to be intense. It's okay. You can handle it. You can absolutely handle it. Let us get you a message from your soul. Ooh. So I'm getting you guys two cards. I'm told one message from your soul, this first card, and one message from your twin ray, the second card. Not going to look at the cards yet. I don't want to be spooked. All right. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. Card number 9. The impossible made possible. Love brings the sea into boiling and turns the mountains into a pebble. Love creates infinite openings in the dark sky and shatters the earth with its magnitude. She spins, this great earth goddess, upon invisible strings amongst a wildly pulsating ballet of life. Stars are born, live, and die all around her. Life moves in constant flux, and still she spins in her great, loving, constant dance. How can this be? All of creation is born from nothing. Out of endless silence and darkness, light emerges. What strange magic is this? The sun heats the solar system and burns with a power to destroy life, yet it is a force by which life is sustained. Surely this makes no sense and cannot be. We dance in the realm of the impossible made possible constantly. We are so engrossed in it, so familiar with it, and yet blind to it, that these constant impossibilities happening in every moment fail to inspire us. Yet, what are your biggest, boldest, most extraordinarily impossible dreams compared to this great impossibility of life itself? They are but tiny seeds in the Creator's masterful hand, being now planted in the heavenly garden. Yes, they are being planted right now, for the moon tells us the time is right. Most tenderly shall they be watched over, nurtured into fullness according to the season. Yes, that growth is assured. The impossible is now made possible. We only limit what we believe to be possible by our lack of imagination. The divine has recourse to all that is and all that is yet to be. Is there any limit to the resources of the heavens? No. So then, why has not every impossible dream now been rendered possible? Indeed, manifest in shining glory upon the earth. The human heart knows everything in vision can manifest according to divine timing and grace. Yet the mind does quake with fear, so much so that it will not listen to the heart at times. That fear is a childlike nightmare. That you should offer yourself up to the sacred loving power of the great Creator, you might be found to be lacking. So, this is the root of our fear. We're afraid that we're not enough. We've forgotten that we were made in perfect measure and time. Everything about you, even the things that you find to be flaws, the things that you're most embarrassed of, they're gifts. You are a gift made into flesh. Begin remembering this. You're not just a gift to yourself, you're a gift to everyone that witnesses you, that comes across your path. No matter how long or short their time with you is, you are gifting them with something so profound that it might even take years for them to recognize what a gift you are. And a gift doesn't need the gratitude, it doesn't need the acknowledgement. You don't need to sit there and be recognized as a gift, verbally thanked. You just have to know in your heart, this is a fact. This is a truth of who and what you are. You are a walking gift, and just be that gift. Okay? So now we have a second card. This is from your twin flame. Card number 27, the Angel Rasbar. Tell me the truth, I asked love. What are you? I am the everlasting life, love said. I am the recurring joy of living. The master speaks of a den of riches where many precious jewels can be found. In abundance they lie, patient and yet ready to be claimed. Go scoop them up, urges the master. The devoted ones look but cannot see. What are these precious jewels? They cry, for we cannot find them anywhere. The master gazes lovingly at the devoted ones and responds kindly. In service, my beloveds, you shall find the jewels through service. For what is the soul but the finest and most precious of heavenly jewels? What is service but the scooping up of the soul, that it does not lie lost nor unclaimed, but instead honored for all its precious worth and beauty, tended to until it becomes vibrant as a flawless ruby, radiant with the joy of living. You are raw jewels. And every time someone rubs against you in the wrong way, they are helping to polish you. That in itself is a gift as well. So recognize, as you rise, you will be rubbed and rubbed and rubbed. There will be a lot of friction. And there will be a lot of times where you feel like, is it me? Am I the problem? No, there is no problem. You are being polished. You are absolutely being polished. And everyone wants to be a diamond, yet no one wants to be cut. That is one of the most profound things I have ever read. Everyone wants to be this diamond, beautiful and shiny and valuable to everyone else, but they have no desire to be cut over and over and over. Precise cuts, cutting away parts of you that you once valued. This is what's going on, Pisces. Your world is going to be turned upside down because you've been living a convoluted lie up until this point. You are now entering an age where your truth is rising. It's ripening and preparing to nurture not just you, but everyone who wants to eat of your fruit. So that is a huge, huge gift. It's time for us to rise up. It's really, really time to rise up. Be strong, be confident in your truth. You are not perfect. And in the recognition of not being perfect, no, that's perfectly who you should be. Okay? This concept of perfect, as society defines it, is a lie. It's a lie. We're not meant to be like other people. None of us are. We're all meant to be very unique expressions of a divine consciousness. Very, very unique expressions of one singular consciousness. And it's time we honor that. Okay? So, huge couple weeks coming up. We got this. Transmute, transmute, transmute. When people come at you crooked, you don't need to straighten them out. Okay? Just walk away. Definitely harvest the energy that's needed for your rise so you can rise and walk away. You don't have to show up to every single gunfight that you're invited to. It's just exhausting. It's exhausting. You have other things you need to tend to. A lot of internal things that you need to tend to. A lot of growth is coming our way. A lot of empowerment, a lot of self-love, a lot of beautiful, beautiful shadow work. Shadow work, most of your power is in your shadow, Pisces. Most of your power is in your shadow because it's within the shadows that the depths get deeper. Okay? Don't be scared of your shadow. Don't be scared of yourself. If you have a side of you that you think is really dark and really scary and wicked, that exists for a reason. That's the side of you that's willing to go to war for you. Appreciate that side. That's the very side that will defend you to the very end. Love on that side. Embrace that part of yourself. You were not created to be a doormat. You were not created to be a punching bag. You were created to stand shoulder to shoulder with your brothers and sisters in creation. Okay? So do that. Stand shoulder to shoulder. All right, guys. I love y'all. Thank you for sharing this very sacred space with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being present. Seriously. Thank you for being present. It really means a lot to me to be able to share my thoughts and share messages with you guys. It means the world to me. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. I do private sessions. It's 5:55. Sorry. 144 watching. The numbers, they speak. The numbers speak. I'm sorry. I got all excited. The numbers were speaking. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I love you guys. Check out my website, emmeevolving.com. I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye.